Sriram Iyer. Of course, we have heard the name. Thank you, sir.
And has made you more popular than the words.
Obviously, I'm not going to read what is written here because this is not important. What is important is what am I going to speak in the next couple of minutes about Liberation Process Certified Architect. And I'm a corporate trainer and I've been in this business for the last 6 years. Basically, I'm an FMCG person. FMCG means fast-moving consumer goods, and if you can see here, I started my career with Procter & Gamble, worked with Unilever, worked with Nivea, worked with Reckitt and Column. All along my life, I have been consumer products for the last 25 years. I'm 50 and for the last 6 years, I'm into corporate training. Yeah. I've been associated now with Liberation for the last few years. Yeah. And basically a process architect since beginning of this year. During the workshop, you will get to hear about the clients, you will get to hear the kind of work they do. You saw those numbers about training, reviews and consulting. Those numbers will be translated into real client name. So you would obviously get a kind of exposure to the clients whom we are talking about. So in my sheet, you would have seen all those clients are the clients of Liberation coaches, whether it's Mahindra, whether it's Nestle. So I'm associated with Mahindra, I'm associated with Nestle, I'm doing JPGO, I'm doing Blanche Plastics. I've done a lot of work for them for the national skill development. I walked into the office today and Suman, I don't know you, Suman is one of the person who works here. And she said, sir, aapka ek din chahiye. Ab 3 days mujhe dijiye, you have to go to Pune to do a KRA settings for the directors, for a new client. On in terms of the outcome of doing Liberation Process Certification Program, what is in it for me, obviously? What is it that going to happen with me? That's what interests me at the end of the day. And that's where everything goes towards. So we are talking about this Liberation Process Architect Certification Program. So the first thing for me was the functional competence. I'm not a HR person. I'm a salesperson. But since I did this, it was like a mini MBA for me in HR. So obviously for me, this was something fantastic in terms of learning, something new. And those 6 days was like, we used to start at what, 9:30? Yeah. We used to finish at 11:30 in the night. Yeah. It was, and it just, then, एक point के बाद क्या होता था, हम लोग दूसरे कमरे में जाते थे, जमीन में बैठते थे, फिर वहां से उठ के जाके बाहर वो स्विमिंग पूल की तरफ जाके बैठते थे. I have done thousands of appraisals. I have been a country head for Nivea until 2011. So I was in a very senior position. So I used to do appraisals for my team. So obviously when I learned this, it gave me a totally new perspective in terms of understanding the nitty-gritties, understanding. I used to hate HR at that point of time because, when I was working with Unilever, because I was working with Unilever for 8 years and the HR will give the directive 5 to 8%. And I had to do for my region, northern region. More than 4,000 people used to work for me. And I had to decide, kisko 5%, kisko 6%, kisko 8%. And I used to have a massive problem. But this really helped me in terms of the 4D PMS, understanding the HR and why HR used to do it that way. So, thankless job of HR, but I appreciated and accepted that. So, then moving on in terms of entrepreneurial creativity. My working with Liberation again in the last 2.5 years has been more of an entrepreneur. Because wherever I go, it's not because of me, but it's because of the Liberation name which they have created. Like let's take Mahindra for example. I have done now close to 50 odd workshops with Mahindra across India. That's primarily because of Liberation. Because the Liberation have been working with Mahindra for the last 10 years. And thanks to Vijaya ma'am, she built a kind of platform for me to go and do my workshops. I started here as a trainer, but then of course the consultancy also came to me because I had this certification. As I said, I was not a HR person. But since I had this certification, I had the tool where people would accept me saying that, okay, theek hai. So, I proudly wear this wherever I go for Liberation. So that's something which I do. So moving on in terms of evolving challenges, something is told and something else you get to see. So that's part of the challenges which you actually learn and you work with it. But the good thing about SME is also where we do consulting, they are basically nice people. They are very nice people. Unlike when you go for corporate training, ठीक है ट्रेनर आया ट्रेनिंग किया
But
फॉर्म
they're the
भरा
best
चला
hosts.
गया. There is no kind of bonding, there is no kind of relationship. They don't know when you say भाई ये ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. Then they say आपको ऐसा चाहिए सर हम करके देंगे. And then of course we are talking about here autonomy and independence. Again my experience with Liberation. I'm working with several other L&D companies, fairly big organizations. Here Vijay ma'am gives me the content. That's it. Rest in terms of how I deliver my training, what activities, what kind of exercises, what kind of questions, what kind of syndicate discussions, what kind of audio, video, visuals. You have a complete independence in terms of how you want to deliver as long as the objectives are delivered. Similarly, coming to consultancy, it's the same. You have the prescribed 4D format which we have to follow, but how do you do your bonding, how do you do your relationship, how do you ensure कि मैं client के पास गया अगली बार आपको ही बुलाएगा वो, that's purely up to you. They can't guarantee on that, that's purely on my part. So you have complete autonomy and independence in terms of doing that. And then of course, I will not say about network. Like I have the Nestle L&D guy sitting in Gurgaon. He gives me a call because they have sort of given them that kind of liberty, given that kind of comfort level. आपको जब भी Iyer sir से बात करना है, like Smriti from Delhi, Nestle, she calls me. Gaurav sir, who is the head of L&D based out of Gurgaon, he calls me. Yeshi, the consulting group HR head for JBGO, she calls me. So you have amazing network when you're working with these kind of people. And very, very important, which is what going on in everybody's mind, stability and security. I'm assured of my revenue as long as I'm able to do a decent job, push for a date, keep working with these people out here. You don't have to go to Mulesar, you don't have to go to Linus, you can gel with all the people out here and you can get your things. Any questions? Thank you.